Mark Warner and I just were on the Senate floor speaking about our dear friend and how much we are going to miss John Warner. And when we heard the news, we decided we wanted to take the floor today. And just shortly before the window for this call, we were kind of told that this would be the only moment today when we could do it. We were joined on the floor by Senator Jack Reed of Rhode Island, the current chair of the Armed Services Committee. And I just want to say a word about John and then say a word about two bills this week that we were really excited to get passed in the Health, Education, Labor, Pension Committee. Some of you know that my family on my wife's side is just really connected to John. John came back from the Pacific at the end of World War II to finish his studies at Washington and Lee. My father-in-law had been at Washington and Lee, took time away from school to go be a submariner in the Pacific. He came back on campus. My father-in-law is 2 years older than John. They were in the same fraternity. John Warner used to always say, your father-in-law broke a paddle across my backside at a fraternity event in 1946 in Lexington, Virginia. But it began a deep friendship as they worked together basically to build the Republican Party from nothing in Virginia with a handful of others. When Lynn was elected governor, the first Republican elected governor in Virginia in 1969, John was Secretary of the Navy. They worked together in that capacity, with Virginia being the center of naval power in the world. The friendship deepened and deepened and deepened, and then it hit something that could have been a challenge for some friendships. They ran against each other for the Senate in 1978, a four-way Republican nomination battle to be the U.S. Senator. John Warner finished second in that race, and Linwood Holton finished third. Dick Obenshain won, but then was killed in a plane accident. It was unclear who the nominee would be, but Lynn immediately threw his support behind John Warner to be the replacement after Dick Obenshain was tragically killed. And then the rest is history. John goes on to have a 30-year career, the longest career of a Virginian in the Senate, and served in such amazing ways, particularly as chair and ranking of the Armed Services Committee. Mark is proud, as somebody who ran against John Warner and lost, to hold the John Warner seat in the U.S. Senate. And I am proud to be on the Armed Services Committee, where John Warner served so ably. But this is just a person who, at every point in his life, enlisting in the Navy when he was 18 because the U.S. was at war, World War II, re-enlisting in the Marines 5 years later so he could serve in the Korean War, serving as Secretary of the Navy. His service as a senator, Virginia just is in such a debt to this man. And I feel such a sense of loss for my father-in-law, who will be just devastated by the news. My wife was going to reach out to him this morning and tell him, to my wife and her family, but especially to Jean and the entire Warner family. What a beautiful, beautiful family who has given so much, and my heart is with them.